Hi, welcome to Jade Kind Gaming. My name is Adam, here with the 62nd session of the Underland Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition campaign. We have Erich, played by Austin, Henwick, played by Ryan, Kalidan, played by Bob, and Jimmy, played by Nick. So, y'all are basically trying to gather things together, preparing for war on the Illithids. Last time, you bought and paid for more stuff at the corpse cart. They're busy.
We really need to just hang out for a month
Go to the
to put
city
this
planner
war on
and
pause
find
so
out
we
how
can
much-
get all of our stuff and equipment done.
No, I just got to go to city planner and find out how much is that lot worth. Can I buy that lot? That one right there.
What lot?
The corpse cart's lot. Can I buy their building?
Well, we could still.
Anyways,
I mean,
doing
presumably
stuff.
it's illegal,
we
but
just
also
give them vague
presumably
directions and they
rise.
say go ahead and
Yeah.
press forward.
I mean, it's kind of a jerk move, but
I own
They'll
this.
move.
I own your business now.
you wouldn't own the business. You'd own the plot. They
Yeah,
just
yeah,
have
they
to
pay
move.
rent
Well,
now.
I'll buy that one too. Can I buy a 51% stake in your company? This isn't really a negotiation.
Is it just keep buying the plots of land you move to? I'm going to be your landlord. I want you to be my landlord.
I mean,
didn't
because I
give you
know
a
how their
choice.
business works, I know how interesting that is. But you can certainly try. Anyways, y'all gave conference stones to the princess without really explaining very much of what was going on and being asked of, as well as the Magic Guild with a little more explanation, although not necessarily trying to get their direct help.
I will appeal to them.
Jimmy messed about figuring out who to speak to in order to recruit within Baraven.
Which
Kalidan hanging out with Carnival, of course.
Yeah, we
Went on a vacation.
we're working very hard.
Just not to do with anything plot related.
It's plot for him. Kalidan thinks this is very important.
Erich donated money to rebuild the library.
Yeah.
Henwick is in Kadrick's Nem copying spells. He has an appointment to go get animal viewing in 2 days. The rest of you are in Baraven. Jimmy has an appointment with the Queen in 1 to 2 days. They weren't sure how long it would take to discuss military plans. I'm not sure what time of day we really ended, but we'll say good morning of a new day.
I can get a full day's working at the forge.
Do you enjoy playing a character that just goes to work?
The biggest problem is you gave me so much crap about not actually being the character.
I mean,
that
you
I'm
are really
playing,
doing good at it.
that I finally did that, and I've role-played myself into a corner that this is what he would
Don't
do.
get me wrong. I've done that myself. Think about the times I've played in games where I end up being like the pilot, and I just don't get to play. I'm just on the ship waiting for you guys to finish a mission so I can rush in and pull you out.
That Han Solo was a pirate, and he also went on adventures.
Yeah, I wasn't that kind of pilot, was I?
But you could have it.
That wasn't the character I made.
Also,
So you got to think about that too.
Well, the thing is that there's nothing for my character to do in this town. He's waiting on his books to get here so he can read the books and get his equipment fixed. So because he's waiting on books and equipment.
The pitfalls of over-specializing.
Yeah, I'm not over special. There's just there's no gladiator arena. There's nothing to do in this town for this guy
You can pick
except
fights in the bar.
yeah, but that would require me to speak.
and you could just turn people around and start punching them in the face.
I don't want to get arrested.
I mean, if you just decide to water somebody's shoes, I'm sure you'd be pretty fighty about it.
I don't know if that counts as assault.
Only one way to find out.
You could certainly try.
No, I think this is a better
go to
use
work.
of my time.
Okay.
I have way more fun there.
I throw an additional 1,000 gold away for a focus for scrying as a material component.
Yeah, they can help you with that.
You just go dump
Also-
it in the trash and it throws up like you.
Weren't you buying your crystal ball?
Yep. But I've got the spell scrying, so...
I would just assume the magical item crystal ball also works as that object.
He doesn't have that right now.
Later? No.
Otherwise, you spend your day copying. Do you have a full day of this?
Yep.
Okay.
Full day, and I'll have a full 2 days plus extra of writing.
Erich?
There was like this place had like an administrative office where you'd hire people, right? Or is that just the bank I'm thinking of?
I mean, there was definitely a bank. There was,
The City Hall had a job board.
Yeah,
you
there
can
was a
post
job
things
board.
on the job
Yeah.
board.
I go there.
he knows that the money is meaningless at this point.
I'll
He
go with silver
he just wants
there.
something to do, doesn't he?
But he can hire people to go on adventures for him.
I was like, I'm not going to take a job. I'm going to go post
No,
a
you
job.
have so much money. Well, I mean, you're you. I figured you'd be.
I was going to go post a job.
Okay.
How many elves are going to the surface to fight dragons? So many.
Well, I don't think so.
So yeah, you make your way to the City Hall.
Is there an obvious method to petition for a job, or do I just go up to somebody and start asking?
There is a board which things are posted. If you read through the things posted there, some of them direct more information to some of the people at the desks. Others just give addresses on the board for where to go.
Well, the board
Meet
put
the
me up to
individual.
it. I asked people at the desk.
Yeah, they're kind of, you can, if you want to go through them, they can keep notes here for a small fee, whatever, a copper per day that has to be up. Otherwise, you can just put an address on the posting and put it on the board. If it's there for more than a week, they will remove it.
I still
So-
have copper.
So you would just go put it back up every week if no one's responded and you want it to remain.
Are there any people loitering in here?
Yeah, there are people standing around, waiting in lines.
I mean, like, actually loitering.
I mean, there are people sitting in chairs just sort of waiting. There seem to be people waiting, but
No way.
There's not a dude over by the job board just reading through them.
I guess I'll have to list the bar as the meeting place. How would I advertise for, what's the word for that?
you could actually just go buy property.
Why would I want to own land?
You could.
But why?
So you could tell people where to go to beat you to go on.
You just pay the bar and they'll hold your notes, just like this
Well,
place
I
will.
mean,
Yes.
does this place sell houses?
Yeah.
It does?
Yeah.
How much is a house?
You just... I don't have an address. Do you sell houses?
Yeah, you're just like sitting there like...
You
Trying
do
to
get an
sense-
odd look as you just say,
No, you're just sitting there
How
like,
much?
do I list the bar as the meeting place? Or like, well, you could use
You
a
could-
house.
you could-
You sell houses?
You are now reminding me of the Death Clock crew of, this is the foods library.
Yes, the library. You just shows up on your tables, right?
Does it have it? Does what have what? Olives. Does it have it? What?
The food's
I feel like I'm in the right section. It should be here.
If you can't find it, is it free?
It is not free. There we go. Just further in the chapter. And I'm guessing you're just looking for something small, simple.
Housey?
Yeah.
No, he's
Something
looking for
he can-
whatever that guy suggests to him first.
I mean, you looking for just a little rundown shack in the lower level, or are you looking for one of the mansions up top?
What's like the main floor? The one we come in through the gates and there we are. Where all the bars are at.
Okay.
Is that the main level or is that
Yeah,
the lower
most of
level?
that's business. There are a couple small. You'll see if we have anything.
Did you say
In
what
that
the
area.
job was?
No, he hasn't said yet.
You hadn't said what the job was.
As he takes notes. Did I miss that in my notes?
But no, business works. I'm starting up a business.
Yeah, business level, for 5,000 gold, you can get just a small, basically 10 by 10, alley front, or for twice as much, you can get one on street level.
Is that like A per day thing?
That would be the ownership cost, your general maintenance for that, depending on like directly what you're doing exactly, probably being few gold per day. So, and if you have an actual business in there that makes money, it can easily pay for itself. If you don't,
We're leaving like what, 2 weeks?
We're leaving when plot says the items are done.
if you're leaving in a couple months and don't run a business in there, you're basically paid up to it because nothing's gonna. Other than getting a few days, most of it is actually running something, having an employee in there.
If you just bought it and left it empty, it doesn't accrue any more stuff.
Yeah, it would in the next year when you'd have to
Pay
pay
taxes.
taxes.
I was like, I don't think you pay taxes this year? I was like, oh no, I'll be gone by then.
Yeah, it's like you will be paying the basic taxes as part of that 5,000, and then it would basically not be until the next year when taxes come around that you have anything to pay. And a lot of that would be based on how much you've made with the business. Your taxes of an empty building would actually be very
Oh
small.
no, this is all going to be expenses. There will be no making money here. I have enough money, I don't need more.
So are you buying the building?
I guess, yeah.
Okay.
So what, 10,000 gold?
Yeah, if you want like a street level storefront with windows.
I don't really need windows, but I don't want to be in an alley. I'm going to need space for people to come and go.
I mean, it would be one of the basic walk like an alley, and there's usually two businesses off the side.
Oh.
A lot of offices tend to be like that.
Then yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so 5,000.
I don't want to waste all my money.
He says, off to waste money.
I'm just like here thinking, like, you could buy property. You have more than enough money to just buy property. So, yeah, 5,000. It's like, there's a few locations. Would you like me to show you to...
I mean, are they all 5,000?
Yes, they're all the standard. They're just different parts on the road. If you care about what shops you're near or such.
No, not really.
Pick one.
Comes to a deed,
Like,
a key. Here's these two pieces of paper. Sign them both. We keep this one. You keep that one. Has your address on it.
And I can just use the board to hire people,
Yeah.
like employees.
Yeah, just post up there. Like I said, unless you're having us upkeep it, then just make sure you come back and replace it every week because they will get removed.
Okay. Yeah, and I guess I put up job.
As he kind of is like glancing after you've pulled out that money from however much other money.
There you go.
Why is it sticky? Don't ask questions.
Yeah, don't worry, it's been cleaned.
It's not blood money anymore.
Yeah. It's been laundered.
I mean,
You don't need those quotation marks. Those are literal words.
Literally means figuratively, though.
No, in this case, it actually means literally. This blood money has been laundered to no longer be bloody. None of those are quotation marks.
but laundered means something else.
Watch me say that in the zone of truth and not flinch.
Anyways.
So yeah, let's see. I need a... What's a person who...
Clerk.
Paymaster? Right? Because I imagine...
I don't know what you're trying to hire, so I don't know.
I'm asking the guy, too. I'm like, what do you need? You need somebody to hand things, somebody to pay them, and then somebody to keep track of all the records? That sound right to you?
You won't clear on what kind of business you are running.
I'm going to be hiring people for a war.
You're starting at PNC.
Mercenary.
It's just a mercenary group.
That's not the words you used. I am hiring people to go to war.
Who and where? Yeah,
That's not something I've helped anyone with. I'm not sure. You may want to find an expert for what's needed for that.
Who would you suggest as an expert?
I don't know. Probably someone within the military divisions.
And where are they?
Some of the higher ups near the
Somebody I can
Queen's
pay to help
court.
me.
Do they find that random military employee to ask, what are you talking about?
Yeah, there should be a veteran around here somewhere.
Yeah.
Find a retired general.
I'm not the expert. Best of luck. It's actually time for my break as he takes the deed and just sort of walks away.
Walks away from you.
Is there somebody else nearby?
There's other people that are speaking to others.
No other workers open?
Yeah, there's people that are occupied.
Just wait for him to get back from lunch.
You're back.
We can continue our conversation.
No, I'll get one of the other lines. I'll see them.
Meanwhile,
Soldiers hang out.
you see any soldiers?
I would say just not to hang around the peasantry, and people who actually martial levels would probably be a bit of the upper crust.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Waiting in the bar, waiting to hear back from the Queen so I can go petition them in our war endeavor. But if asked or I see an opportunity, I'll do some Erich tales.
So you're waiting to hear from the Queen in the bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd let them know that's where I was going to be at when I handed off my note to set an appointment. No. It was go up there daily.
Yep.
So,
It was absolutely go up there daily. They're not coming to you.
yeah. It's like, I'll go check. If they're not ready for me today, I'll come back and do that.
Yeah,
thing.
it's going to be tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be tomorrow. Unless you didn't go today.
In which case, it was totally today.
Oh, yeah. Your work,
Back to Erich.
Erich! So, yeah, you wait in line, mousy-haired drow at the desk.
It's just a drow
Yes.
with mice in his head.
I'm looking to hire a military expert to advise me on some military matters.
I'm looking for consultation.
Directly here. Of course,
Yeah, well, the last guy I
depending
talked to didn't know where any of them were.
Kalidan?
Well, yeah. They're not really in the office directly. And of course, they do occasionally come
You
through. I think most of them up in the Queen's Eyes. Generally in some of the higher class housing up there. You may find people in some of the temples. May know some.
So I can't just go hire one. I have to go and find one of them actually.
Well, I don't really know who you'd be hiring. It's not
What
so much-
about ex-soldiers? Mercenaries?
You might find some on the board posting.
Go and find a local bard that knows about heroic veterans of a previous war.
Yeah, that's all she knows.
Well, anything on the board about mercenaries?
There are some,
Request for mercenaries?
yeah. Well, no, there are some, for hire, just sort of contact addresses for,
That thing we tried,
Fighting.
never got any response for. When we were briefly a mercenary company.
strong arm.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just lean over. Do I take these?
Someone passes by. Take them all, why not you?
I'm taking all the mercenary ones.
As that guy just walks out the door.
Good enough for me.
Why did you do that? I told you to.
He said I could.
As she points you, not that guy.
He said so, I guess.
Points to that guard.
He also said he was a big fan of that bar.
And then I'll go and track down all these mercenary groups.
Yeah, no, they tend to be either individuals or pairs. Yeah, easy enough. Addresses tell you right where to find them.
Yeah.
As you go murder all the mercenaries in their sleep. Or, broad daylight, you don't care, you're level 16.
I don't need to get rid of the competition. I just need to hire them.
We want them to die against our enemies.
Quick glance. Closest one is in the lower district.
Well, yeah, go to them.
Yep.
They seem right.
Definite shanty town, small rundown shacks down the lower levels with guards just sort of posting. Just look you over as you go down. Don't say anything. But careful.
I mean, what are they going to do? Dirty my shoes with their blood as I smear them across the wall?
As you say to the guard, and this is Rouse Society, so they're like, have a good day, sir!
Sounds about right.
As long as you're being careful with it.
Oh, they are nice shoes.
They are very nice shoes.
I spent a lot of money on these clothes.
Yeah. Yeah. Not the most ordered street layout. At times feels like there was no planning here, and other times that people just sort of built houses between two others, blocking a street from one direction.
Sounds like something people would do.
But meandering around a bit, yeah, you can find that at the house that
Well,
it leads to.
The door locked?
No, I don't do that. You roll luck check. What am I doing? Now,
20.
It's open.
Oh, yeah, go in. Hello?
What?
Is this so-and-so?
As turns around, a black dragonborn stepping up from. What you doing, Ma?
The door was open.
That's a terrible reason to break in. I keep telling people that's a terrible reason to break into someone's house, but no, that's fine.
It works for Link for years. If you don't want people in your house taking your stuff, lock your doors.
Immediately
Don't lock
start
them too
throwing
hard.
pottery up.
Also, pottery, bad choice for any interior decoration.
People break it.
But I need somewhere to safely to store my valuables. I have this collection of gems. I want somewhere nice to put them.
I recommend the water temple. No one ever gets in there.
Basically, like a cat has to knock it off.
Also, just the idea that those pots are basically just those people's change jars. They just take out the change whenever they get home, throw them in the pot, and go about their business.
Yeah.
Or their extra hearts.
Or
Their
magic.
arrows, their bombs.
Whatever they have.
People just
Well,
straight.
like, I had to go to the sacred temple to get this bow. Why does everyone have arrows?
Nobody just has water. They all drink magic and health.
So yeah, Black Dragonborn.
Or
This
milk.
is, this so-and-so that I saw on the paper.
Norix Cotton.
Alright.
Yeah?
It's Nora.
What's your opinion on being well compensated for participation in a war?
I like it.
Well, I've got a deal for you. There's a war coming up, and we're going to fight in it. And there's going
Just us two.
No, there's going to be like an army.
Oh, good.
I'm just looking to do my
War
part.
sounds bigger.
I'm just looking to do my part and add some muscle to the force.
Right. Okay. When we go. Wait. Well. What's well?
Well,
You said that was the way I was being compensated. Well.
Yes,
does
we're
the
going to
paper
dig you
list
a well.
does the paper list how much money he wants? How much money is a lot to people?
Do you say that out loud?
Yeah, well, I kind of mumble it.
Well, what? How much time are we thinking? Should we
How many mercenary papers do I have?
6.
And how many mercenaries are there amongst the papers?
8.
Let's call.
There's actually a thing in the book that tells you how much it costs to buy people. To rent.
Hire! To hire!
Yeah, I said rent. I amended it to renting people.
Still corrected you.
It's the same thing.
That seems too low.
They get to plunder too.
Well, yeah. Of
You
course,
gotta
it's
remember,
low.
this isn't like modern warfare where you're not allowed to steal everything nailed down.
I've never played that game. I didn't know you weren't allowed to steal them.
20 gold a week.
What? Yep, I'll do that. I'll do that. Yep, I'll do that.
I was like, maybe that was too.
Where do we go, boss?
I'll remember that next time.
You better not give them any equipment.
I have magic stuff, and I just remembered. I'm like, I was going about this all wrong, as I'm talking to this black dragonborn that's pretty cool. I was thinking of getting a big army. No, that's chump talk. You know what really helps the adventure? A small group of eccentric sociopaths. Now that's a story.
Murder hobos for hire.
Yeah. And of course, I'm going to give them all kinds of goodies. I have goodies for this exact and express purpose.
Yes, Eric's elite. All the hobos and murderers he could find and pay and give them magic weapon too.
Just saying, it'd be kind of a fun idea to start a new campaign where we pick from these nut jobs that Eric's found to hire.
Want to go to war? Yes.
What they do post-war. They never make it to the war, what they actually end up wandering off and doing.
No.
As he joins them all together, and he gives them the wrong direction.
No, after the war,
I mean,
you gotta figure
true.
like they just go off and have crazy adventures. I'm kind of interested to see what these people's
52
lives
weeks
are.
a year, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Piddling. It's nothing. It's nothing. 20. I was like, that's too much. It's like, no, I have tons of money.
Yeah, but
It's
you
nothing
need to
for
hire
you.
a lot of people.
But it is enough that it is enough that the guy that's there looking for it is just like, yes, I'm doing this. I am absolutely doing this. Where are we going?
So, what's the point? They're just ours now.
Let's see. How much is, like, weapons and armors? You have those?
I had some basic stuff. Yeah, of course.
Either that or
so
how
that's-
much is base raw materials.
Just write a note. You know
It's
where I
going to
am.
be, like, maybe a month or a month and a half, maybe 2 at the most, before we actually head out from the city.
Right.
So here's
So
that pay up front.
once
Go
we
get your shit.
leave, we'll count that as your starting pay for a week, and let's call it, like, 200 gold just for the retainer.
Right. Yeah. So just wait here. Where do we?
Yeah,
check in?
I'll come and collect everyone.
All
when
right.
we're leaving.
Yeah.
Yeah, then give them 200 gold.
Going grocery shopping.
I'm just going to get a bunch of black jobs showing up at the blacksmith.
I need weapons and swords.
All of a sudden, my job is important.
No, now I'm just thinking is grocery the slang term down in the slums for drugs? I'm going to buy groceries!
Maybe.
or food.
or the guy's just hungry.
That could also be it.
He lives in the slums.
Yeah, let's see.
He lives in the dark and he can't see in the dark.
It's like, what, a 2-week trip to get back?
To get up to the hole in the thing is like
It's
a
like
week
a-
and a half, 2 weeks. I don't know.
It's a
We'd have to
6-day
pull-
trip from whatever Ludigar's place to my hometown, or from the Devil Temple.
Yeah, from the devil.
So
temple.
from here to Baraven, that's maybe like a 4-week track, I think.
Like 2 weeks?
Hold on.
We are not going to teleport the armies through the
Yeah,
devil
you are the
temple.
only one wise enough that I'm just going to freely give that to you, but you figured it out.
I'm almost sure Bob's wiser than I am.
No?
No, I'm a cleric without wisdom.
What's that, Nick?
Yeah. I thought you just had used to him rolling survival checks.
Yeah, that's because I have
Oh,
survival.
yeah, he's good at survival.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to
Well, I'm going to
teleport the
call
army?
it. I'm going to call it 2
Go
weeks.
teleport the army through the devil temple.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm just going
I
to give
could
that
do
as a
it.
ballpark.
Well, yes, we could totally do it. It wouldn't be, I don't know, kosher? I have no idea what the right word for that is.
It would
Oh,
be
no.
a bad plan.
Yeah, I wouldn't let them out at the Devil Temple.
It's
That's
the,
what
pool in the
that
attic.
would not be how I would teleport an army.
They'd be encased in something.
Okay, and we bought bottles of air, so everyone get in these portable holes as we transport
No,
the
there
army.
are no bottles of air.
Yeah, he didn't have them. We would have to have, add
don't
to his
exist.
list. It was like,
I would
give us bottles of air, and or little tiny portals to the realm of air.
Well, it wouldn't need to. I'd just pocket dimension them all.
Oh yeah, now you have your own version of that.
Yeah.
Ignore the beating heart.
Might make them uncomfortable.
Why do you have a pocket dimension?
Because he has that spell now, and evidently he can just travel with, thousands of
The
people.
more
in there.
unusual thing is, why does it now have a heartbeat?
Because we couldn't...
I've never been to his pocket dimension.
Maybe it always had a heartbeat.
Yeah. But yeah, I let him know. It'd be like, it's like a 2-week trip to the war, and then I'll just pay you until...
Yeah.
I guess we'll figure out pensions afterwards.
Right.
Don't they have to stick with you for a while, and then, like...
I think his idea is survive the war.
Well, yeah, survive the war, you get a pension, you die or have to pay the war.
The size of the pension is based off an adventure quota.
Now, you were with us for 4 years, but I'm only showing an average of 1 adventure a month, and that's a little low.
Adventure metrics.
How does this earn you money?
However,
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't. It earns me nothing. It's
I am improving the world.
And the person who's there, like the secretary tells them, I'd love to help you, but I have to go and bust someone out of prison. And just leaves. Mid-conference.
Welcome to Adventure Inc. You may think of me as the CEO, but it's Farlingun. Make no mistake about that.
So, this is actually the temple.
You have been recruited to a religion.
No.
Here's good pay.
How do I sign up? Okay, well, first thing you gotta do is you gotta go talk to them. It's like 30 people later. Ah, you signed up. Good job. It was a fetch quest. Of course it was. But of course.
I don't know. I've heard of venture capitalists. He would be an adventure capitalist. I'm funding adventures.
So, next mercenary?
Next mercenary is... let's see. And any others down here? Yeah, gonna be back up on Merchant Street. Someone in one of the... There's a couple up on Merchant Street in some of the further back houses.
Well, yeah, we go check them. Yeah, you better pull out that that NPC production manual there. I mean, I was going to be happy with just a faceless mob of dudes, but you wanted to be difficult about it.
That's true, you did want to be difficult.
I love being difficult. That's just
So
the
now,
kind of
now
thing.
you got to make unique NPCs with personality, who can tragically die to motivate us to greater heights.
I don't
Phil.
know. I'm just waiting for when we eventually get to the war part. We have like a group of Drow, a group of this, and then we just have Erich's group.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely going to be Erich's group. Why wouldn't there be?
They have all these powers and they cost so many points.
But I paid for them.
Need to
No,
hire
even better. There's one more down here.
Alright.
Okay. This one, the door is locked.
Oh, I'm going to knock.
And you hear things falling, some rattling, some clawing at the door before a knoll opens it.
He's apparently a pug, he has trouble breathing.
Oh, they speak. I didn't know gnolls could speak.
I didn't know that. Anyways,
I'm recruiting for a war. I'll pay you. Yes, a lot of that. We'll be doing a bunch of that. And I'll give you a lot of money, too. So, we'd be leaving in 1 to 2 months. We'd take about 2 weeks travel to get there, and then we'd be fighting. Alright. So he seems to be into this. So we're paying 20 gold a week once we're fighting. And that sounds good to you?
Yeah.
Alright.
I
like the
behind
guy-
him with a feather duster.
the guy's dedicated.
Butthole.
Guy's dedicated. I just, here's a signing bonus. and I give him 200 gold.
I can't wait till he shows up at your store.
It's like, I want things.
I will be back to
I'll
collect
get rid of
it
all
when
that
we-
gold for him.
And then we'll go mini kill.
Yeah!
Huh, fun guy.
Good attitude. Very cheerful.
Seems happy, laughs a lot.
Yeah, real positive.
It's like he's not like dead in his cell or anything, so he has to theoretically function in society a little bit.
Yeah, nobody's killing him.
Yeah.
Did he have a name?
He did not have a name on the sheet, and you did not ask for one.
Nope.
I don't think the Black Dragon had one either, so.
It was like
Yeah, he
an
did.
Emmerich or something.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Nancy.
Norex Karn.
That's Nora.
Karn's a pretty cool dude. I believe in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, the next one up on the upper level has a pear. What was
Oh, how do you get all that fruit down here?
that? Carefully.
And it's a pear. It's not like it was a ton.
A pear is a fruit.
Yes, he said.
How do you
there's
get
no
all
pear.
of that?
It
It's
was
just
a
one
pear,
pear.
so he's got a nanny?
It's just one pear. I mean,
Nope.
he just carried it out of his pocket.
Yeah.
It's a pear, not a pear.
Yeah, but how is carrying a pear hard?
Well, they're people. Just because they're looking after your children doesn't mean they're not people, Nick.
I'm going with people are relatively easy to carry, but I do not believe that answers the initial
as long as they
question.
don't object. I think you're discounting the human element here.
Oh, it's locked again? Yeah. Yeah, no.
Why do you keep just trying to open doors?
It's like, hey,
It's an adventurous spirit.
Opens. Muscular, shirtless, blue-toned man answers the door. Yes.
I'm hiring for a war.
For war.
Well, yeah.
That sounds a little bit large scale.
It is. Theoretically.
Unless there's like 4 of us.
So far, I'm working on 3. We're trying to make it large scale. We feel it will help in overcoming the obstacles.
But I figure we'd be more like an elite unit and not like rank and file.
I like that. Well, what would the war be against?
Illithids.
Ill what? The sick?
No, they're a group of.
Psychic brain eaters.
Yeah, they're like mind breakers. They literally drill in through your skull, eat your brain out, and then puppet your meat that's left.
That is so not how that actually works.
I think I'm pretty close.
Eric has not paid attention to our foe.
I think I'm pretty close.
You guys have not gotten a chance to see your foe.
True enough.
You have hearsay.
Except for me.
But anyway, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. Is we believe that's bad,
Yes.
and so me, my compatriots, and a god or so are going to go and start a big war against them. To free all the slaves.
Maybe a god or so.
Yeah, he's a god. I don't know if he's like a full god yet. He's still kind of in between.
Right.
I think maybe. I don't know how gods work.
And what what's what time scale? What's the planning? How are we setting all this up?
1.5 to 2 months before we leave the city. About 2 weeks of travel to get to the war front, and then it really depends on what the tactics people think. To decide specific assignments, I guess.
Unlike the Knoll or the Black Dragon, this guy seems pretty,
Intelligent.
well, has his faculties. You might want to hire him early so he can muster additional linemen.
Well, yeah, but so that's our timeline.
Right. If you'll give me a moment, I'll, of course, have to speak with my compatriot.
Now,
Don't mind, I'll be right back. Closes the door.
Click, clack.
You don't hear it locked, no, but...
Well, you asked me to wait, I will.
yeah.
I can open locked doors.
Yeah, you're level 16.
I have a chime of opening.
You have more than one way to open locked doors.
Aha! A lightning bolt target.
I thought it was a challenge. But a couple minutes later, and he, along with another Triton behind him, yes, seems like a worthy cause. For fair pay, we'd be willing to do battle on this end.
Pay is 20 gold a week and 200 gold signing bonus.
As a pair, or...
Well, I mean, yeah, for each of you.
Oh, quite wonderful, quite...
There are two. Like,
Yes,
the
there are
same
two.
person, right?
Yeah, no,
You're not just crazy, right?
It's something like
they look discernible different. They're just the same species. They're not the same person. They don't all look the same to you.
Well, that's what I mean. You want to get paid as a single person.
You keep trying to die.
I mean, if you're into that,
No.
then yeah.
Well, I am Cornwall, and this is
Jackson.
Narek.
Then yeah. I give them 400 gold, 200 each now, and I'll start paying them weekly, once we leave the city.
Yeah.
Cornwall and who?
Narek.
Noric.
Yeah.
Little different pronunciation, probably spelled the same.
Noric's
Like
called
dove and
Cornwall,
dove.
Noric, oh.
Alright. Then we go to who's next.
Next, only probably less than a minute walk away. This building, the door is actually open.
Oh, yeah, walk in.
A couple of kids run past around your legs. They're orcish.
Alright. Well, yeah, I start looking for my next mercenary.
It's rock.
Man kind of walks in.
Hold the paper.
Excuse me?
It's you?
Looks at it. No, that would be my wife.
I'd like to offer her work.
She's currently on an assignment. You should be back by the end of the day.
Well, I'll return in the evening.
Very well.
I love how no one has been like, you took down the paper.
He came to hire them.
If whoever hired her had taken down the paper, he wouldn't be in this mess.
Really, they were just rude.
Yeah, there we go. Whoever's next.
What was that guy? Human or orc?
Half orc.
Okay.
So, the kids were full orcs?
No, they're half orcs.
So, is he sleeping with a human?
You're not sure yet. She's working.
Also, I love that she has a house husband. Him taking care of the kids and stuff. How progressive.
I mean, they were just kind of running around.
Yeah, they just kind of run around.
But
He's just at home.
But they're orc kids, so I'm sure it's fine.
free to go.
Good use of our time here.
It's a use of our time.
Next one is a pair of drow, a drow couple. They're actually, a bit worn out, armored, and, leaning on, staff swords as they answer the door. They're in the next level up at a bit of a nicer house. And they'll kind of chuckle a bit at the pay, but say, sounds fun.
Alright.
So another 400 gold.
I mean, unless they don't... Do they not think that's enough?
They think it's a little simple, but they'll again go over what the actual combatant is, and it sounds like fun monster hunting. They seem open to a challenge.
Cool. 2 more.
One more.
One more.
Well, 2 more that we hired.
Right.
Yes. Oh, okay. On that end of the equation. Yep.
And then go and find my last mercenary.
The last house.
That's true. So I gotta get the orc.
Yeah.
She might not want to come though. She's got kids. Then again, it is kind of an adventure two for win-win situation. Either she comes back triumphant, which is a great story for the kids, or she dies, and kids love an orphan.
No, Disney loves an orphan. Kids don't.
Yeah, the
It's
kids
great,
are miserable.
great heroics.
No, he's thinking kids, and he's actually thinking adventure loves orphans.
But no one loves orphans as much as rats.
Yeah, no. You, a little confused by the next address, but eventually figured out that it is the top house of 2 seemingly half-sized houses on a plot.
Huh. Like a duplex?
Kind of, except one is on top of the other, and they're shorter.
I remember living in an apartment where you have your apartment and then you go inside upstairs to get to your actual apartment. There's like a foyer.
This is a smaller house on stilts over top of another. You do not think that you could get in this house. But you can knock at on the door from reaching up your arm.
What are you talking about? Go to whichever post that is and walk right up it.
You're not confident it won't unbalance things.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, there is only one way to find out.
You could certainly try.
So it's not that there's another house built on top. Someone saw that plot of land and said, I can put some stilts and just build, vertically and have another house without paying rent.
Is the door locked?
More
to the point, is the door locked? Thaumaturgery.
No, it'll fly open.
Yeah.
And the entire house can... as it does.
Hello!
Crawling over the side, you see these sort of jeweler suspects. Okay.
Looking for a mercenary?
Oh, yes. Spindly kind of gnome. Rock gnome kind of sits on the edge.
Gnome.
Yeah, kind of puts his feet over. Yes, quite the mercenary. Quite.
Well, I'm recruiting for a
Strong arms. I've come to call myself.
Good name. Good name. But we're I'm hiring for a war.
For a war.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We'd be going off to war.
Do you set off now?
No, about a month and a half, 2 months at most.
Oh, such notice. I mean, I may have things to do in the time. I don't know. We'll see if I'm available.
Well, that's why I'm giving you 200 gold to stay available.
You are?
If you want to...
I mean, I'm in.
I mean, if you agree to... Alright, then I give you 200 gold to, hold you over until we leave, and then once we head out from the city, you'll get 20 gold a week.
Wonderful. Like it.
Yeah, I think so. I was a little shaky about that price, but people seem to be pretty okay with that amount.
Well, yes, it's quite good. Okay.
Then I give him 200 gold.
Hold up in the store. He's sitting down at the edge of it. He'll just sort of pop up and just sort of lets the door close behind him. Let's go. Some friends at a dead horse.
He has friends that are, in fact, a dead horse, is what I heard.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I picked up a gnome too.
Dun, 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 dun.
Good for me. I guess we'll go to a bar.
You make it.
It's our normal bar, and I'm telling stories about you.
temperature?
It's hot.
It only lasted through the recruiting tales of...
It was over an hour.
Most of the recruiting.
No, it's literally not. We have a timer. It's running right there. It's not even close.
It is warm in here.
I agree.
I'm fine. I'm really comfortable.
Put your jacket on.
What?
Yeah,
I'm wearing shirts under shirts.
Yeah, put your jacket on. Get as hot as the rest of us.
No. Just
He
for
could
once,
never be as hot as the rest of us.
once I'm comfortable. Leave me be.
My bad, guys. I'm sorry.
You got poop on your car.
That's extreme.
Take that.
Please don't.
Please, wait. Do you have a moonroof?
Yeah, but he can ignore that. He can't ignore a big floppy on the windshield.
Somehow,
Please don't.
hotwire the car, turn the wipers on.
Have to go to work in the morning.
Use the spritz.
I'm just imagining you squatting, having trouble, and he starts driving the car.
That'll show you. Back it up.
You get poop on your tires.
That's where it belongs. Anybody in the bar interested in going to war?
You need to start putting
Make a
up that,
persuasion check.
We're going to go on adventure, and if you want to experience a Erich Rauda trademark adventure firsthand.
Well, that's why I'm doing this at the bar,
Nice.
and we have time. I'm building up to that. You gotta...
You find an elderly drow man that... I'm an old fool. Never thought I'd live through it. Maybe I won't.
Alright.
The heck did he just say?
He's in.
all I got was old drow man, in for war. Will he die immediately? Probably.
That's why you don't try and persuade people. You're looking for these guys. The ones who are just, yeah, I'm into it. Well, does the old drow have any, like, family?
Oh, yeah, I got some kids that moved away from home.
Well, you know, if you don't make it through the war, we could send them your pay.
Ah, screw those
Get in
guys.
the
They
trash.
moved.
Yeah, to the church.
They're the ones that have seen me through in all the years.
Do you want your signing bonus?
Anybody? Sure. You pick
Then you just slam down 200 gold. How many people are interested in joining the war now?
Make a luck check.
Yeah.
23.
You get 6 more. You are going to have just sort of a mixed match squadron amongst this that is...
I think what's important here, though, is that my dwarfy friend is going to have help getting all these orders out.
You do, throughout the day, start seeing a couple of these characters showing up. A gnoll that is basically being followed by one of the guard on his shopping trip up.
You still need to go back to the orc lady.
Open up the fanciest store.
Sort of looks at the numbers.
Look, open up the least fancy door.
Now I'm just imagining him taking like war hammers and swords off the pegboard, putting them in a little plastic shopping bag. Here you go, sir.
What? No, we recycle. It is paper bags.
Are you part of the rewards
This is a
program?
dwarf. It's obviously a stone bag.
It's a stone coffin. Best part is if you die, bury yourself in it.
True, recycling.
Oh, someone else does. The guard behind him just...
Put that down. He goes, I'll buy a few of them. Great sword. I grab the expensive crap.
he will buy a glaive and a longbow.
A solid metal longbow, because that's all this guy sells.
It is all that he sells.
Yeah, and he does have bows.
Yeah.
Yep.
That is absolutely something he makes here.
I go and I poke his chest, tap my own armor, open up the armor bins.
Something light or something.
I point at the leather worker down the street. I tap him on the shoulder.
Yes. I'm very kind. You smell good. Sweat.
Rolls D12.
He's fun. And if you do decide to play, well, what are you going to be in?
It's going to be Ryan. We need a psycho for the psycho. Ryan's got.
Otherwise, you're able to return in the evening, and the female half-orc will accept.
Hey, there you go. Off to war we are.
She'll probably go a little bit more on the end pay and making sure that if something does happen, that things get back to her family. But other than that, she's
Yeah, I gotta hire somebody to do contracts.
Contracts. You've literally just handed out over 1,000 gold today. It's like,
Well, yeah.
I'll show up again.
And we'll sign some paperwork.
yeah.
No skipping out.
End up with a sort of spindly rock gnome coming by. I need armor.
I start pulling out stuff for him.
Yeah, no, bigger.
Oh yeah, pull out the fanciest, biggest full plate.
Yes. Yeah.
Isn't that like more
Yeah.
than 200?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I put it on him. I make sure it's fitted properly.
I guess be fine. I've not had my tonics.
Is he just playing a different system, or is he just an alchemist and that's one of those things? Okay.
Yeah, it's potion based of
So they did make the alchemist just Pathfinder's bomb or alchemist, didn't they?
No.
Yeah. I just remember they were all either bombs or tonics.
Oh, you mean alchemist of that? No, I haven't pulled anything from that.
Oh, okay.
No, I not into Eberron yet.
Okay.
Then yeah, I go and post a job asking for somebody to help me write up some contracts, some employment contracts, and to...
That they are able to get you find someone for at the office.
Oh, then yeah.
Yeah.
I need somebody to help me write some contracts, employment contracts, compensation, and pensions.
Yeah.
You've been to the legal district.
Yeah.
Well, he was there earlier. That's all that same building.
There's a few buildings right next to each other for it, but yeah. Basically, to do... I count it basically as... Assuming something simple, and it's largely duplication after that, it's a gold per person for them to just make the contracts and...
Can I file deposits in case I don't come back?
Yeah, that'd be through the bank. The bank will hold things,
Alright.
and you can...
I think you're up to 15 people.
Yep.
Because, you got your 9 actual characters and your 6 dudes.
Yep. 6 more of just... Did you just drop 200 gold on the counter? Wait, we're in. I'm sorry, I heard war. I didn't hear investment opportunity. I've never fought a war. But you know what? Do you think there's a first time for everything?
Absolutely. This is my 6th. And I'll tell you, they are not nearly as bad as you think. They're
a lot more fun than everyone gives them credit for.
Just last month, I was in the Blood War.
Yeah,
Oh my god! That is not a lie! That is true! That is a true statement!
Of course it is. It's Erich.
all true statements.
I know!
See, it's no lie.
See, at the beginning of the game, you guys acted like his Wild claims were ridiculous.
I'm not acting. I still believe he's a liar. Just because I've seen him do stuff now that he still talks about doesn't mean he didn't lie about stuff in the past.
The things he talks about now that you've seen him done aren't less ridiculous.
Yes, but they are always embellished.
That was back when I was a different race.
Yep.
My time as a vampire was short-lived, but lived. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm too
Yeah.
Yeah, go. I gotta go and get that set up at the bank too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say I spend my time making a pros and cons list why the Drow should go to war. Then I realized I'm too stupid for that.
It's going to be contingent. Anybody who makes it back to the city can go to the bank and claim a separation bonus.
Of another 200 gold.
They'll go make it 1,000.
Make them want to try and get back.
If you get back, it's 1,000 gold. If you die, your family can collect it. Oh, well, let's make it like 2 years.
You can move
You're
through
not
the
back in 2
city.
years, your
You
family
can
can
move
get it.
through the city at double speed. You'd be even better at recruiting the riffraff and the desperate into trying to draft them into the war.
I am, but I have to fill Erich's job of getting the nobility because he sort of, went to the nobility and said hi, passingly mentioned this versus getting a commitment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Whereas he's just literally making a single squadron of crazy people.
Let's be fair, at least 4 of those people seemed like reasonable mercenaries.
Yeah, there we go.
We're out of the 15.
So yeah, we'll look at give them 1,000 gold bonuses to make it back to the city.
You have a number ranging from savage, good fighters, well thought out, well trained, special abilities, experience,
And 6 random dudes!
I think one of those was really only a kid, but you know what? They were big for their age.
Are they legally allowed to sign a contract?
There's no real laws regarding that, so
Oh, good.
Then yeah, that's what I do the next day. I take my copies of the contracts and get them
them all
signed.
signed. Otherwise, the next day, between the 2 days, you make
Also to let them know about the big
7
bonus for
gold
coming
between the
back.
2 days.
Is it because I sold so much stuff?
Yeah. Well, this is between 2 days also, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I'm making gold hand over hand.
You're making
Good
a
money.
lot of gold.
I'm just saying, if I actually lived here, I'd be rich.
Yes, you would. He's basically paying you like an almost partner rates kind of thing of...
Well, he gets to go in the back and work most of the time, and I get to hang out front.
do all the socialize act.
Yes. He thinks it's good for me.
Remember, he got so used to you, he hired a little boy to do your job of not talk to people and show people the pegboards.
Henwick.
He's now the blacksmith who doesn't
Me too.
bother you.
Okay.
He
My
needs 2
appoint-
days.
Yeah, my appointment's on day 3, right?
In 2 days. So 1 day, 2 days. So it's 2 days. It's today.
Today's my meeting.
Yes,
Okay.
today is your meeting.
Okay. Then I'll go ahead and get rested the day before and show up and...
I mean, you're basically staying in the same place you're leaving from, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
see what Burn says about our adventure.
I had some brief notes on that post. Like this.
Yeah, I mean, using these same terms, I could hire like another 1,000 or so guys. Because this only costs 2,200 gold for a year.
Yes, you could just keep hiring a full squadron manually, overpaying them, but I mean, they're all just...
I mean, for a year of service, it's only 2,000 gold. I mean, that's nothing.
Anyways, I'm sort of take you into one of the side
Maybe half a
rooms. Evaluate. Decide it's okay for you to see it, and just sort of say, this is not something that should be shared. Only upper member of the guild generally are able to know about it, and don't misuse it. Guild only on our island. And they kind of draw out a teleportation circle. that takes you to what you can instantly hear is around water. You're still easily in the underground cave. You assume still on the Shattered Sea. But you are on what seems to be a column that reaches out from the sea up, and sort of like a little section of it hollowed out in a massive column, say 40 feet across. And there's just sort of like a tunnel, like a wind tunnel, hollowed out down the center of it.
Yeah, 400.
Just a few sort of mages sort of off on the side that kind of look over and look back. Permanent teleportation circle here.
Look down. Read the glyphs.
Yeah, you can see them when they're going on en route, so...
Sure.
Yeah, you can still see them while they're making them. But they sort of walk over to along one of the sides where the column hasn't been hollowed out, one of it where it's... and there are just sort of shelves that are carved into and now kind of rounded over with the mineral deposits and such. There are a few things. And there is a jar. Not big. Bigger for you. You're small. Faintly glowing.
The jar's the same size. He's different.
I know. If I were his size, my hands would have to be wider. Step up and tells you up right in there.
It's like, okay, and it's just like size transmagrification.
Sort of. As he puts a finger in and sort of gets sucked inside of it. You have to kind of climb up on the shelf to do so, but yeah. And you end up in sort of a center of a menagerie. Stars above.
Oh, so you guys do that too.
Yeah. A garden, lots of plants, all sorts of, in addition to animals, plants that you've not seen before. Large cages, there are areas of tanks, there are pits with bars crossed above them, some massive, some small, innumerous various smaller just animals of all sorts of lizards and salamanders and turtles and parrots and toucans and all sorts of just things. A number of larger creatures suspended in, swimming around in what seems to be some sort of translucent gel in a force cage. There's a purple worm that you can actively watch burrowing around as this gel kind of reforms at the top and collapses down as it makes its tunnels in a massive thing. They have a restrained and muzzled red dragon. Young, but still. Just sort of... was there things in particular that you, Ryan, were looking for here?
I see the purple worm, and that's good. I was looking to find, like, adult metallic dragons. At least a creature for different potential extreme environments, extreme cold, like heat and lava, aquatic, flying.
There are proper salamanders as well in one of the lowered areas. They have Yeti. Should be there.
They have Beholder.
They do not. They actually don't have any aberrations.
Okay. Okay.
What about the good dragons, metallic ones?
Yeah.
They do not have any in here, but he does know of a...
I'm gonna say silver. It's
It's
almost always
just a
silver.
good dragon who's willing to cooperate.
Yeah, it's like they know a dragon. It's like...
Yeah.
He's like, now could you flex for me? Yeah, just bend the back like that. Yeah. Show that tail off.
Yeah,
Bunch of sickos.
The mages or the dragon?
The mages. The dragon's just weirdly into it.
Yeah, do they have a gold dragon that they know?
Gold. Dry uplands and on hilltops. No. That would not be.
Looking for whichever one of these is cave.
Basically. Clouds, mountain peaks. No, that's actually perfect. No, we don't have any here, but there is a bronze dragon lower on our stalactite in the caves that stretch in the pass below. He's amicable. He's allowed us to house above his home.
Sure, I'd like to talk to him and see if I can converse with him, see what he knows about the other metallic dragons.
Hey, see if he wants to go to war against some evil.
Yeah. See if he'd be interested.
Hey, Dragon, you want to have an adventure?
Do they have like an Arctic or an aquatic section of the menagerie?
I mean, yeah, they have areas that are somewhat like that, yeah.
Okay. Just so I could see creatures from different environments.
Yeah. Like I said, there's like animal snowmen. There are...
Umber Hulks.
Like, how many elementals are you at?
Oh yeah, do we see a bunch of elementals?
There are encasements of them, but anything that they don't have out, those are ones that they can easily summon with gems to... Once you basically said, I am trying to true polymorph, basically. I need to collect things, knowledge of things to do so. Yeah, they're kind of aware of the concept and will help you out with it.
Yeah, because whatever, I can summon elementals.
Oh, I just thought the Umber Hulks were earth elementals.
No.
Or the gem-eating guys.
Zorn.
Yeah,
Zorn.
Umber Hulks are a type of monstrosity, I believe.
Yeah.
They're big insects with super arms.
Yeah, large monstrosity.
Just the flexiest of bugmen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, no problem.
Okay. Yep. But just go looking around at the different creatures, go and talk to whoever the...
There's a little stair, once you're out of the jar, there's a little stairwell that kind of spirals around the outside of the column to a lower chamber.
Talk to whoever the zookeeper is.
Mm-hmm.
Just get a bit of their knowledge of the different forms that I might be interested in. Go and visit the bronze dragon.
Yep. First, you said adult?
Yes.
Does it matter if it's ancient? Does ancient work for your thing as well?
Probably not.
22.
You're too strong.
Then no.
No, then it will be adult. And some wormlings. Couple adults.
They're not one of the ones that, immediately separate.
This little family unit.
Well, so used to almost all dragons being solitaries.
Man, there's a pretty big jump for the brass people.
Was it like 12 to 22 or something?
13 to 20.
Yeah, and do you have anything specific to say to him, or you just...
Oh, yeah. No, if he's there in front of me, I'm like, I was looking to talk to you about a couple different things. First of all, I was looking to get to more a bit about the different bloodlines of the metallic dragons, since I've come across a couple different chromatic dragons just by circumstance, and haven't visited near Tiamat's domain, but...
So you have?
Yeah.
No, you saw a red dragon and heard about a blue.
And a green.
And green. We
I've
did
seen the
actually see the green.
Where'd you hear about a blue?
Erich talked about him underneath the
White.
Queen. Oh, white? Oh. Man!
Coloring book.
Yeah, I should remember. We make fun of whites because they're so stupid.
Yeah, the Queen of Baraven has a white dragon underneath, but blue dragons we haven't come across as far as I know.
Out in deserts and stuff.
Yeah. But yeah, I was looking to learn more about the metallic dragon bloodlines. And do you know any other metallic dragons?
Other than my family, no. Not for quite an age.
Oh, well, what can you tell me? And what can you tell me about yourselves? I don't actually know that all that much about your species.
Quite a reader myself. Well studied.
Very good. Yeah, if you can direct me in any such way, friend.
Other than that, we enjoy the sea. I mean, I don't know what you're wanting me to say.
Well, I want to know about their habitats, where they are, what their abilities are, stuff like that.
He tells you those things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Practical information.
Those things that you can look up in the MM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one just looks so much like a wyvern.
Okay.
The
Well,
baby dragon
Yeah.
I think
has arms.
Well, it's standing on two legs. It just reminds me of wyverns.
I'd like to tell you about the thing that me and my friends have gotten ourselves entangled in.
Oh, did you?
Yes. So we're currently in. This got a lot more messier than what I set out for it to be, but so a couple of years ago, I ended up having some years of my life taken from my memory, and I knew that something was wrong, but I didn't know what I had forgotten. Doing some investigation work, considering that was my profession, is my profession. I ended up tracking down the source of my missing memories to a group of aberrations known as the Mind Flayers.
What, just him going,
keep on.
going through his entire backstory to this random...
The issue that we ended up running into is when we wanted to look into further information about these Mind Flayers, is that we came across other people who had been enslaved by these creatures. A set of dwarves and some Gith, which are its own own species. They had been enslaved by the Mind Flayers and were looking for assistance in helping to free their people from them. And I'm looking to reclaim my memories. We've got members of my friends group who have been tasked by higher powers in order to help out, and people who just want to see the end of these things. And really, we're going around looking for people who want to help us in fighting against these creatures and freeing the people that they've enslaved, and I'm looking to reclaim my lost memories.
And what would you say that action would be to go about freeing those people?
Oh, I'd say that we're liberating them. We're
In a...
Quest?
No. This isn't a police action, it is a...
War?
yeah, we're going to war.
They are also fascinated by warfare and eagerly join armies fighting for a just cause. It's literally what the book says. I'm like, I chose it because I looked right at the top, first sentence in there. Layers in coastal caves. I'm like, they're right on the coast. There's caves. Perfect. It works. Then as he's making me figure out stuff about him, I'm reading. I'm like, oh. What size of force are you up against? The opposition.
Well, we don't have an exact figures, but I can tell you that the number of Mind Flayers that we're dealing with is enough to enslave basically 2 full species populations.
It's notable. I won't commit to anything. I would encourage you to gather more information.
Oh yes,
And
reconnaissance.
you know
is
how
next
to
on
find
the
me.
list.
I would have
If the
said
cause
6
is
million.
just and the need is high, I will not turn you down.
See, I would have said there
What
was
about
6
him,
million
his
on
wife, and his kids? Will they also not turn him down?
You'll have to find that out once you know more information. You must do reconnaissance before they will give you an agreement.
Yeah.
As our little war tally now just has a group of bronze dragons.
The biggest issue with that is trying to ally them once they find out they're fighting alongside red dragons.
That's if the Tiamat stuff shows up. We haven't even spoke to Gith yet.
Yeah.
Frankly, her mission was to free and imprison God while being chased by a god killer. I just assumed she failed at that. Versus our thing was go say, hey, give a guy a coin and we win.
Lame. I'll just thank the dragon for hearing me out and letting me talk with him. And see if Byrne or anyone else can provide me with any additional information on the other metallic dragon species.
I mean, basic information, yeah. But they don't have others around, but yeah, they have notes on them.
Yeah, if you can give me notes, then I might be able to seek them out myself.
Yeah. A lot of them not necessarily great for down here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well,
Now just imagining, okay, high mountaintops and teleport while thinking of high mountain types floating. Hey, are there any dragons around? I'm looking for dragons. Not you.
how you doing?
Then you go back to copying stuff?
It's like, kind of enjoy my day of looking around, seeing the different forms.
Yeah.
Seeing if I can collect lightning forms and acid forms and all of that.
I mean, to some extent, depending on what there is, there aren't forms for all of those.
Well,
You don't have access to all the chromatic dragons either, so you can't get all of those immunities.
no.
But you got fire immunity. That's not bad. And whatever brass has.
Fire
Bronze.
immunity, I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure gold is fire. But then again...
Gold is fire, but so is brass.
Yeah,
There's
the
a lot of,
metallic dragons get weird with overlaps.
yeah, fire immunity for brass. Gold dragon.
Again, I think it's bronze.
Yeah,
Oh, it's bronze dragon.
Yeah.
Lightning.
So you did get that.
Now you can hang out with Erich harder. Lightning bolt! Lightning bolt!
So those guys are
Lightning bolt.
bronze dragons.
Yes, bronze.
Okay.
If you don't want to be evil, but still want lightning powers.
Blue steel core.
Well, they have, but they're evil.
Yeah, theoretically, aren't most of what we're teaming up with going to be evil?
Yeah.
You
are aiming to free evil things from other evil things.
Eviler things.
It takes your priority list. Is slavery more wrong than just baseline evil?
Yes.
We're operating in the territory of the enemy of my enemy is my asset.
Mm-hmm. Because what the dwarves and Yeah, the dwarves and the fungus are neutral, and
The Gith aren't evil.
I thought part of them were evil, part of the one that split off weren't. And they literally just went and freed an evil god.
Well, yeah.
There was clearly conflict between different advisors under Gith.
Yeah, there's ideological difference, but they're not like an evil race.
No.
Once they split, half of them is. Yeah. Right now, they're a race under conflict.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no one's ever said to us that the Duergar were evil. They're just blacker dwarves. That doesn't make them evil. Heck, how would we know? We've met one Duergar. Then again, he may have killed 2 gods and ascended an ancient devil to godhood, so.
He might be evil.
But that's an ends justifying the means kind of thing.
Which is pretty evil.
We literally took the path to hell with his good intentions.
Yes, you could say that. Let's see.
That's probably why you don't want to go talk to Bahamut. It's like, hey, I killed some gods. I will give you more god power if you help me. You had to find a very powerful, not already god.
I always advocate for the opposite of what seems like the bad plan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, go and speak with them, and then when we get done, I collect my notes that I have for the day, and then I'll get back to writing.
Okay. And what about what were you doing today?
Making plans to talk to the queen and telling Erich stories down at the bar. Waiting for tomorrow to go check and see if my appointment's up.
Again, that's today now.
Then I go. But I'll see you tomorrow.
No, this was... We're now on to day 2, just like it was day 2 for him.
If it was tomorrow, you would have already done it.
Yes.
Anyway, so go up and check and see if I can have my audience.
Yeah. Well, take a little bit of time. And they'd probably just have you, literally sit in that side room, in that chamber for about 3 hours. Like, yeah, we'll get you. And eventually, some lower ability and officers kind of filter in.
I'm wearing my court finery, by the way.
Good.
He's wearing his fanciest dress.
Erich paid for it and everything. And picked it out.
Oh, very nice. So it's actually good. Okay.
Well, I mean, yes.
But eventually...
If they've ever seen me, it'd look familiar.
Ow.
Sorry.
Oh, quick question.
See?
As far as material components, has anybody in the Mages Guild collected dragon scales?
I mean, not in large quantity
No.
or anything.
No, just if they have a couple.
Yeah, there are a few dragon scales around.
Okay, I would just like to see them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like for an actual spell or just...
I will use them for scrying if I get the opportunity.
I think you have to actually have that with you at time of scry.
Yes.
Well, if he knows they're there, he'll come back and scry with them.
But I know that they're there now, so...
Yeah.
They're all to that family in the basement.
Nah, that's still them. Still them.
You can easily tell by color
Yeah.
which ones to use.
This one looks awful silver. No, it's still bronze.
Someone's just been polishing it.
Beautiful. Painting it. Actually... as requested, the
Esteemed associate of Erich Rauda, famed adventurer.
traveler through all lands, Jimmy Recard may address the court.
Yes. I go up to her, and I'm not as charismatic as I am, so I'm going to mention to her that Erich's been here describing the war that we want to win, and we are petitioning to have a military advisor and explaining why that would be good to help us set up this whole thing and the Mind Stone that it gave the princess.
Mm-hmm. Kind of leans on it. Yes. What about the alliance of Erich and Rauda?
That new guy? Oh, the new guy? It's like, I've heard that around town now, right?
What?
That he's went around
No.
spreading. No,
Nope.
okay. Yes, Lugar, the Duergar. Yes, we helped him with his mission, and he has pledged
Yes.
and gotten help.
He is paid for soldiers.
Yes, very much so. And
Do
the
you advise against this?
paying for soldiers, or working with them.
Yes. What he has said, yes.
I'm trying to figure out who she's speaking of, Ludigar or Erich.
She's not making.
Do you ask or
Yes.
Well, I've spoken with Ludigar. Erich was rather vague on the matter.
Okay, so you've used the Mind Stone and have gotten contact with Ludigar already. Great. We were just hoping to, speak with a military leader, so as we gather more troops, how to organize them into units and stuff, so we know where to send them and when we leave and that.
Yes, he has said that he is not yet sure of when his associates will have gathered intel. We are currently awaiting that before we sign any decisions for anyone to leave the city. But we do have people armed and ready, as needed. We have only offered a small force, as we do still have to defend ourselves. But what beyond this?
I'm sorry. From the esteemed Erich Raspe made it sound is that you had not decided yet. That's why I was double checking.
The esteemed Erich Raspe
Yes, the
didn't
esteemed
actually
adventurer.
bother mentioning what he wanted of the stone. He just seemed to give it to my daughter.
Yeah, no. That's why I came back to check and make sure it got to you. Sometimes he can be very adventurous.
I don't believe that's a verb.
You have not spent enough time with the esteemed adventurer Erich Raspe to think that that's not a verb.
Well, I mean, does she want to go on an adventure? Invite the queen to a war.
It's going to be more than 20 gold.
I have more than 20 gold.
I thank your majesty for her time.
Very well.
There we go. Got drowned. Now me and Erich, I'll find him. I'll use ascending to let... Well, first I'll use ascending to Henwick to see if he's going to be back soon and can teleport us to the mushroom people. Otherwise, I figured I would go out with Erich to convince the Mushroom King. Mushroom Emperor?
Mushroom Council.
No, they had a name that was the leader of a people that was also the name of that type of mushroom.
Yeah, it was. I was like, I know it's in here because it's both.
Magnet with a Y? Magnet with a Y.
The law.
Sovereign. Sovereign, yes.
Myconid Sovereign.
Found it first.
Yeah, but I also assume you knew the word Myconid.
Yeah.
It's like, mushroom with a Y? Yes, mushroom with a Y. So, do you think you'll be back for teleportation, or are you going to be there a couple more days copying?
The stuff that I have to copy, I might be able to get done today. However,
You spent more than half of your day
yeah.
away.
So I might.
Well,
be,
I did too.
I might be done by tomorrow, but by the time we get around to that, I'm going to start working on reconnaissance. And the Myconids aren't really that far away from Baraven, so...
Okay. Yes, in that case, have this contact you. I'll see if Kalidan wants to join us.
Can you send a second sending?
Yeah.
You can just eat. I mean, it's a spell slot, right?
I don't have sending. I
You
have
don't-
stone.
Oh, then yeah.
That's
you
like
stop.
one a day. Yeah.
Because otherwise, you have plenty of spell slots.
Yeah.
You're not fighting today. Where are you?
So yeah, I tracked down.
And then the Fire Nation attacks.
I'm just in the Mages Guild, and it's like, Mages, go!
Yes, and then I tracked down Erich and say that we're going on an adventure tomorrow. We're going to go talk to the mine.
You don't find him.
Eventually, he'll show up at the
You
bar.
find him that evening,
Yeah.
Because he is literally hanging out in law offices, everything going door to door.
Yeah.
Have you heard the good news?
I've decided to also give you a bonus afterwards.
Yes.
You're a heavy negotiator.
I just
Find the Knoll polishing his new weapons.
Yeah, I go to the blacksmith. Ask Kalidan if you want to go
The
to
gnome,
the mushroom nation.
all swole up
Next day.
larger than you
walk in to
are.
ask me to do stuff,
In
and I
his
start
front yard.
I open things and start showing you weapons.
No, Kalidan. I'm asking if you'll be willing to go with us tomorrow to the mushroom place.
I was with the Byrne,
Yeah?
right?
Okay.
I was with Byrne when we went to the menagerie, right?
The menagerie would have actually been grandfather.
Okay. Ask Grandpa while I'm spending
there it
time
is.
with him.
But yeah, I do have to go.
Is there anybody within the guild that would be able to potentially assist me with some very high level theoretical work on necromancy? There's something that I was looking to accomplish that might be.
We'll discuss when we're back at the guild
Okay.
hall.
Also, I think you may be the most powerful necromancer in the guild.
Good chance for that.
Maybe, but I could still use
Yeah, they'll kind of.
somebody to theorize.
And
with.
once back, yeah, they'll kind of set you off in the side room. Silence around the door. You say high level necromancy. What are you attempting?
Draculish.
We're not shy that
Yeah, no,
you've
it's not.
conversed with devils. So
That wasn't willingly.
I believe you gave excessive effort from us to get help to get there. I don't buy it.
It wasn't country. Had to, but I still feel pressured into it.
Really, I was just setting up my contingencies that I didn't want to have to trip, and that's how the cards fell.
Mm-hmm.
So, the thing that I was looking to accomplish, and I give them the basic go down of what I know that I've developed with Soul Cage, as well as some high level theory that I know. I was looking for a means to, with the Illithids, use something that would be similar to Soul Cage on them in order for me to be able to retrieve my memories from their dead corpses. Because they've got my memories, but I doubt that I'm going to be able to get them out any other way. Unless you've got a better, way.
We have no concept for that. You could experiment on them. We couldn't even begin to fathom what to do without having one. On a very basic level, a simple spell like Speak with Dead may be able to function. But
Also, you have the broad strokes of imprisoned and Fucker, you don't really need the day-to-day of slavery, do you?
Well,
I mean, I think he just wants it back because it's his.
Yeah, I'm looking.
I mean, it is his past.
And it's like I'm.
Yeah,
just,
but imagine all the PTSD you're avoiding by just not having those memories.
I'm sure that I've had worse experiences since then.
I mean, he fought in the Blood War.
We did really well in that war.
And who knows? There might be some sort of piece of information from my missing memories that would be useful to me. I don't know what it could be, but it might be.
It's like their brains with, paprika.
It's like, you get the kind of feeling there's no real concept for how an illithid works because nobody knows what an illithid is. So...
First, you're making the assumption they have souls.
Yeah. But I'm trying to figure out a way that I can extract my memories from them.
But in the information that they are providing, an aboleth,
It's like,
whatever, an aberration, they know from aboleths and from the holders, as well as some of the lesser chill and such, that their minds work in very alien ways, and they're not sure if normal magic would work on it, and they do not have enough researcher data from it. Sort of, they don't seem to be something of value so much that they would have any taboo against attempting things. There would be a slight wariness in what they might open up, as many of them have. I'd say that's something you probably do learn from them, as there are many aberrations that have minds that work in a way that when you tap into them, it can cause you pain and you injury, because they are very alien. So there would be some concern in making the attempts that it might actually be harmful, with no guarantee or possibly without chance of success.
It's something that I will consider carefully. Maybe I need to capture some.
Yeah, you can feel free. Also, we don't know how their minds work, how information is stored within them.
Well,
yeah.
I will attempt, because I do know of some very stuff that's still kind of theoretical for me until I figure out a way of making practical use of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will endeavor to try to figure out what I need to do in order to be able to analyze these creatures safely. I will start to do reconnaissance on them. So, do we have maybe a sanctum that would be the best place for me to perform some magical rituals in order to do surveillance on the illithids without dealing with the potential of return scrying?
I mean, in general, if that's the concern, basically of being able to go out without worrying about coming in, generally the idea would be you would kind of just go into a cavern, secure a cavern force wall or something, and just basically where it doesn't matter if they scry back, is generally the...
Okay.
There are plenty of easily fortifiable...
Well, the other thing is, if somebody's got a free 8th level slot in Mind Blink sitting around, they could cast that on me and I'd be good for the day.
Yeah.
It's like, you asked extensively about that spell. Does anyone in the guild know that spell? Or even have any idea?
I mean, he's certainly heard of it. He doesn't have access to it written. It's possible that someone else high up in one of the other guild halls may, but it is not at the preview that is being shared. No, it's not in a shared tome that we have here in this hall.
Okay. Well, you mind if I...
When you get to like 7, 8, 9, they're not necessarily the kind of things everyone's having
Like, we're not sharing these. We worked really hard for them.
Yeah,
Now we're
even
being
some
greedy.
even some of them up there are greedy with it. It's why I've done things when some of the things that you've provided, and I'm like, they have a secret island housed above a dragon lair. Yeah, they're not going to bother to blindfold you. They're just going to say, don't share this, and just be like, you haven't risen through the ranks, but you kind of just act like you have, as far as what you give in. So
you just keep contributing major spell breakthroughs, and at this point, they think you could probably take a lot of them out with you.
yeah, they're like, yeah, let's just be friendly with you.
Joke's on them. You don't have very many big booms.
No. However, I do have an undead war crystal that will eventually allow me to summon an army.
Armies fight armies.
Yes.
Armies don't fight people. Armies can fight walls.
And I can't,
what about frost giant bodies? Do those fight
Yeah, those fight people.
mage guilds?
Yes.
But yeah, I'll have to do that. So then I go ahead and ask Grandpa for a list of the upper members of the guild that might.
Yes, I'm trying to track down this spell. They'll give it to me.
Yeah, and if he could provide me with a group of the upper members of the guild that might be willing to, with the right incentive, trade.
I can't say what anyone would or would not be willing to trade.
Sure, that's just why I would have to do the, negotiation as far as that goes, but just, people who might actually be capable.
Of course, Baron.
Mm-hmm.
There's Cathra in Normixel. I believe you said you've been there.
Yes, I've been to Normixel.
And there's Trabon in the hill towns.
Hill towns?
Yes.
Where's that?
It's the surface guild hall.
Oh, I've never been there. Do we have a key code for that?
Yes, I believe I can arrange that.
Thank you.
I feel like
Session 62 and counting.
that he's just been holding back that easy access to the surface.
Yeah, they're able to get you that.
Thank you.
I'm doing very important stuff over here.
Is it shopping for guns or?
No, I'm coloring in a frog.
Oh, that's lovely.
Thank God.
You can turn and show the camera.
No, it's nowhere near done.
Well, it's not going to be done today, so they're never going to get to see.
He's going to start off next episode showing the camera that frog.
Don't forget.
Yes, but I'm going to try to remember.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I could finish up what writing I have for today, and then be able to move on stuff tomorrow.
Okay. So are you continuing to write tomorrow, or?
I will have a little bit left, because this is late in the day by the time I get back. So if I get like 4 hours, then I'd have 4 hours
Okay.
more that I have to do.
Okay. Yeah. So you can get back by midday, so you can just let them know. Otherwise, you are met by Jimmy in the evening when you return to the inn.
Do you give me a sending that you can be back by midday?
No, I already told you my response.
Oh, yeah, you're going to explore other places. Gotcha. Yeah, so, talk to the queen. She's talked to
Ludigar.
Ludigar, and they're setting stuff up.
There's a point where I expect you to know the NPCs. It's like most of the NPCs fine. The one that you hung out with for months of our real world sessions.
He was never very important. Canon, she was cool. He may have been story important, but he didn't really have a personality.
He had to stand in the background and be not in danger.
Yeah.
Cannon was sacrificable. You had to defend her. She could have died.
Yes.
Could she have?
I mean, if you...
It didn't really feel that way.
Well, nothing in hell really felt that dangerous, so... Besides the
My
weather.
hell is perfectly evil and dangerous. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's perfectly fine.
I am good at being evil. I know how evil works.
What do you?
Very polite pit fiends that are jerks randomly throughout a sentence to make say, I'm evil.
If you didn't think it was dangerous, you're welcome.
Yeah. As we plotted against that with our higher level abilities so hard.
Anyways, you were talking.
Queen's in on that, and they're using the Mind Stone to link up stuff. We're going to go talk to the mushrooms tomorrow. Ready for an
I hired
adventure?
15 people.
Cool. We'll eventually know when the army's getting together, and we'll tell those 15 people. But we're going to go talk to the mushrooms
I
and see
said
if we
2
can get a
months.
couple thousand. We'll see how that works out.
Well, I figure in 2 months we'll just go. I mean,
He has given you a clock. He has decided what is an extremely generous amount of time for me to wait to go to war. 2 months. It's incredibly generous. At that point, I'm just marching to war.
hey, at least marching to recon.
Yes.
You should have done recon before that point, I would hope.
Yeah. Henwick says he's not coming with us. He's doing recon.
I will begin to. Yes.
So yes, tomorrow we're going to get there.
Why are we
Kalidan's
going to the mushrooms?
to see if they want to put people towards the war.
They don't want to leave their area.
They said they might if the cause is just and lawful.
I think I said they wanted to expand their territory.
I don't remember that. But we're going to ask the send people to war. If they say no, okay. If they say yes, then we have more people for the war.
How
Did
far
you-
away is that place?
Like a
Few
couple
days.
days walk.
I have to furnish my house.
Have you bothered to actually go check out your...
No.
Didn't think so.
You can do that when we get back.
But I don't want to.
But it's going to be an adventure. Fly over all the mushroom stuff.
We've
I
already...
think he's done that.
I've
We weren't
been
flying
there.
last time.
That makes it easier. I don't see the appeal. Jimmy, you've got this. This is your adventure. The solo Jimmy escapades.
Crawl in your
You
bed.
can do it.
Crawl in your bed.
How much can we
belly
split
in.
the party?
Well, it's easy. Kalidan's always here in the Drow City.
What are you talking about?
They're not making you leave, so you stay and work.
Yeah, Kalidan shook his head, no. So I'm just going to leave tomorrow morning without you.
Well, what do you want?
I said I'm going to the mushroom people tomorrow.
Yeah, I said no, and I'm like, well, I do have to go with you, though, because you'll die.
Yeah, that didn't seem evident. Kalidan shaking his head no in the shaft. It's like, okay. And I just
That's
left.
fine, as long as you're deliberately misunderstanding his pantomimes.
You have ways to talk now.
Do we?
I'm just saying, in this case specifically, he's deliberately misunderstanding my
Okay,
pantomimes.
so he shook his head no. Then what did he pantomime? Okay. We'll
Actually,
learn
though,
more.
I do have to go out of the city some ways tomorrow.
Okay. Well, we're heading out the west gate, so...
I thought of something I have to
I do appreciate that you remember the direction that was.
Yes.
Doesn't know what their name is, though.
That's fine. It's just something.
I have something important to do.
Let's see, NPCs I remember. Ellie
Okay. I was going to say, you better at least know her.
and Steve.
Steve is important.
I didn't even name that one.
Well, that's kind of the reason I remember his nightmare riding butt.
What about Clink?
Clint's
Yeah,
important.
Clint's important.
If I had remembered her at all, I would have remembered her name, but I didn't really remember her.
No, I need the middle part. There's a part where I could make Steve ride the nightmare.
And now I'm just thinking of the silver monkey.
Yeah.
Why are you kids morons?
There's really no.
Very well, Jonathan. You must go forth and assemble the silver
I mean, there is
monkey, but
excuse.
only
It's
you
performance
may
anxiety.
decide.
But still.
Butterfingers.
You suck, Jonathan.
I want an adult Hidden Temple with, the people who do
I
Ninja
had a
Warrior.
teacher that actually did work on Hidden Temple.
We had that MXC.
Most extreme elimination challenge.
Yeah.
Well,
have that.
that was mostly great because of the purposely bad dub.
Anyways.
So we had
So-
off the mushrooms.
Okay, so the next day, you spend half of a day writing. You get Kalidan and the pair of you head off. Do you join them? What are you going out of town to do?
I have a bag of beans.
So we're going to the mushroom fields.
So you're a day out into the mushroom fields, about halfway between the...
Bag of beans.
Now, do you pick all of them at once, or...
Nah.
Okay.
What do you want to
What did the bag of beans do?
Things.
Chances! Table! Come on, don't you love random roll table?
There's a loot table.
It's his bag of wondrous objects.
What did you do halfway through your day? You finished writing?
Yeah, I finished writing.
Come on, pyramid with a mummy.
Yeah, that's what you need, more money.
Mummy.
Pyramid with a mummy.
I
Pyramid with a
cast
Brendan Fraser.
send it to Cathro, because I met her because I've been in Army Mixel once. And I sent
I
him...
don't know if you... Did you meet her, or did you just meet people under her at that point? But I know there's people at the guild.
No, that was random guild member you were pounding on the door in the middle of the morning.
Yeah, that was just random guild.
Yes, I have 7 beans.
Roll your percentile.
92.
This is 29.
That's a 92.
Not how Vic reads it.
Have you looked at the chart?
Yes, I do not know what's where.
What do you want it to be?
29.
Well, you know what? That's not the pyramid, then.
I think the pyramid's like really low chance.
Yes, Cathro was actually the person who did my orientation.
No, a whole bunch of the effects are super innocuous and not very.
Oh my god!
Super innocuous.
No! Oh my god!
Is it...
An animate, immobile stone statue in your likeness rises. You're never gonna get anywhere. You're a pansy.
Well, that's not true, and also
No.
not very unkind.
Now, you are a coward, and you just like to sit in your house and do nothing.
I do have a house now. That you might have a point.
What? Of course you did. You wanted to laze around. Your adventuring days are over. You're getting fat and lazy.
This
I
statue's
start
trying to get
slipping
broken.
away from the statue. This man has shatter, the spell that targets items.
No. This is a good reminder. I have been getting a little lazy. I mean, we've been sitting in the same city for almost a week now.
It's been like 3 days! And I immediately said, let's get out. You thought about staying and furnishing your house.
Yeah, I am getting soft and lazy. Statue? Got a good point.
Oh yes, of course. Just brown-nosing everyone he sees. That's Erich Rauda, famed adventurer. Huh.
Well, I'm Erich Raspe. No relation.
Oh yeah, right. Mister, I can change my name and my race and my color and other things. Oh, you're a pansy.
Well, you be you, statue.
Alright, I'll be sure to tell everyone about how weak you are.
Cool.
I'll just stand here where you planted me. Such a gardener. Taking up gardening. I see you enjoy your garden.
I could.
I just looked at the stone. I wonder if he's bitter because he won't leave.
Oh yeah, we go off. One of the out of earshot. I plant another bean.
Out of earshot, you still see him over there. Go,
Come on, double statue. 33.
So close.
Yeah, just a line of statues.
of hairdress brother.
Yeah, and they're just at an earshot of
A
each other.
campfire comes out with blue flames.
Campfire with blue flames?
Yep.
So we all look at it and think, we do not have detect magic.
I do.
I'm a cleric.
The F you say?
Wand of magic detection.
Oh. I have items.
I'm pretty sure that detects magic.
Oh.
I assume.
I'm checking it.
If it has charges,
Or
I imagine it's a wand, not a rod.
that means a lot less than this.
Yeah, it's like
3 charges, 1d3 expended daily at dawn. 1 charge is an action to cast detect magic.
Boom.
I mean, it's a magic fire.
Well, how does it work?
It is sustained for the duration of the magic, without feeding off of a fuel.
Oh, it's just magic fire?
Yeah.
Neat. Playing under the beam.
Is it hot?
Yeah, you can cook on it. Another bean.
Well, can I move the fire? Can I put it in a jar?
As you start trying to move it, things shuffle around and parts of it start going out.
Oh, no. Another bean.
33.
Poof! Another fire.
Huh. Maybe we're duds.
That's 3.
3. Yeah, let's go 4. 38.
Another fire.
Ugh. These beans, man.
You got fire starters.
51.
It drives me crazy too.
It's on the left. This is the correct way of reading.
Tens place, single digit. I would agree if they were both just the normal D10.
Nine bright pink toads crawl forth from the ground where you push that in.
Huh. Like, just pink frogs?
Yeah. Pink toads.
Hmm.
Start crawling away from there.
Catch one?
Catch one?
Touch it, start tripping balls.
Start licking it.
Ah.
Yeah, I don't think you should do that. You should put it in the blue fire. One of the, 4 of them.
And it swells. It swells immensely into a huge, horned nightwalker of shadow and claws.
Do I see this?
Yes.
No. You shouldn't pick up the toads, man.
We'll pick up there next time.
Now, the true question is, if we take this one down and feel confident, can we grab the other toads, get more Nightwalkers, and get massive XP?
No.
Yes.
Do they drop stuff?
Of course not, they're a monster. Nothing in 5th edition drops stuff.
Let's keep going then. 75,
New level.
100. Does that bring you up to 17?
Yes.
17 at last. Congratulations. You did a really good job today.
Yeah, it's
half colored, yeah.
That's how far I got from the frog.
Yeah, halfway.
Well, I spent the last 15 minutes doing the shading on the little vents.
Yeah.
Nice.
I feel so paid attention to. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
I listened to the entire thing, but I have to fiddle with some.
I know. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Join us next time for more. Bye.